It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And we got the Merman. Hey, Merman.
Yo.
What's going on? What's happening? What's shaking?
Not a whole lot.
Come on, tell me something new. Something
new.
Something happened in the last week that was probably exciting in your life. Go.
Yeah, I got nothing.
What are you talking about? You were listening to Journey on the way over here.
That was a good song.
There you go.
What song were you listening to?
Somebody out there somewhere.
That's not Journey, that's Triumph.
I thought it was Journey.
Oh, well, there you go.
Waiting
That's
for
me.
He didn't correct me
someone to
anyway.
call their name.
That's right.
That
There
is
you-
100% written by Rick Emmett. That is Triumph.
So that's
That got me
new.
pumped.
That is
up.
off the King of Sports album.
There you go.
I'm not sure the year. I could probably get it within a year, though.
Okay, try.
King of Sports would have been 1987.
There you go. Listeners, fact check right
That's
now.
right. Fact check. Prove it wrong.
And you've learned very quickly
I could
that
actually go pull it right
You
now.
probably could.
But
From his 10,000 CDs.
you've learned something very valuable today. I don't like crappy airplanes.
hey, Triumph is Canada's other power trio, and you will not besmirch their good name
What about
on this
Air
podcast.
Supply?
Is Rush
That's
the other
not
one?
Canadian.
Is Rush
you
the other one?
wingnut.
Didn't they live in Canada once?
Rush is Canada's power trio.
Yes.
And Triumph is Canada's other power trio.
So they're
Okay,
like
then.
the other white meat?
Is this a music podcast now?
It is.
Okay, then.
All I'm saying is I will
Somebody's
not
out
have
there,
Triumph's
so-
good name besmirched in my presence.
All right, then.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
I'll be smirching them all night. All right.
Smirch you.
Thanks to all been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, or even like Triumph for that matter, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform.
Triumph's underrated.
Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining a membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. If you cannot commit to membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. If it played anywhere in a cinema in the world.
Yeah, Jim.
This is news to me. Now, let's get to raging.
300 episodes in, he's still learning.
Oh yeah, happy 300, you guys.
Yeah, whatever.
What amazing moment?
Predict.
What amazing moment?
Predict.
Will he predict the rage or will he predict the
Mondo?
Mondo? Will he tell us what Jim and Bryce saw at the movies?
Movies?
Watch out, kids, cause here he comes. Merman is swimming to you.
And you.
Swimmery, swimmery.
Swim, Murray, swim.
Swimmery, swimmery.
Swim, Murray, swim.
Swim all the way to our hearts, our little rage-filled hearts.
All right, enough of that.
What?
Okay, yeah, I thought I was going to have a good week, and then listening to you guys
What?
talk, apparently I got it all wrong.
About Triumph?
No, about
Triumph's
about the movies.
good. I
Oh,
like Triumph.
Got that wrong
Triumph's
too, apparently.
poop, by the way.
Whatever. I saw them live. They were great. I saw Rick Emmett live all by his lonesome. He was
Also
great.
poop.
The guy is a good guitar player. Just
Yes, I'll give him that.
So we're just going to talk music now?
listen to Midsummer Daydream off of the
Apparently.
Thunder
He's-
7 album.
he's just,
and tell me that this guy is not uber
He's like
talented.
a goldfish.
Yeah, exactly. He does. He has a brain of a goldfish. He can't.
You mentioned something and you won't let it go. That's our Bryce.
Squirrel.
Okay, as I was saying, yeah, 3 movies in theaters this week.
Well, we're talking about movies? I thought we were
Yeah,
talking
that's-
about Triumph.
It's a movie podcast.
All right, go ahead.
Last
I
time
thought we were
checked.
changing for the 300th episode.
First up is Karate Kid Legends,
change.
which
Hiya!
it's a sports movie.
Yes.
that?
And?
it's got action in it. So
Yes.
I figured you guys would hate it. So
Maybe we do.
I put you down for double rage.
All right.
That is a logical conclusion to come to,
You
Merman.
would think so. So
We'll
okay,
see.
that's why I
We
think-
will
that's why I
see
think
if you are
You guys are
correct.
putting me on. Next up is something called Jane Austen Wrecked Me Life.
Yeah, that's
that would be wrecked my
my
life.
life.
It
That
says
may
me.
have
It says me.
But
that
it's the
may have
French
been a typo.
translation.
There
It's
you
the French
go.
translation.
Actually, I like that
I
better.
watched the
Yeah.
trailer and
Jane
I,
Austen
I-
wrecked me life. It's Irish.
I watched the trailer and I hated it just watching the trailer. I'm like, oh my god, I could not sit through this. Yeah, double meh.
All right.
Also a very good prediction.
Yeah, Bryce banging those hits today.
Horror film from Australia.
Yes.
By our
Yes.
friends at A24.
Yes.
Starring that person you like.
Yes.
Sally Hawkins.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's awesome. I
Let's
kind of love her.
Go.
I love her more.
I don't know about
Mondo
that.
for Jim and Meh for Bryce.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Anyway, there you have it.
I am so curious to see what we
Intrigued.
rated these things.
Me too.
I'm still not sure what I did.
I think
you
we're
write
gonna.
it down?
I think that you and I may align this whole. Maybe. We'll see.
I'm gonna guess we are going to, but we will see.
Yeah, there's a couple.
I think we're gonna
potentials.
definitely agree on Karate Kid Legends.
You know what? Because we sat together and held hands through the whole film.
but yes.
So Karate Kid Legends,
Sometimes when you're that horrified, you just need to hold someone,
someone's out there.
waiting for someone to call their
right.
name.
That's right. So this takes sports films to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Because, sports films, they're either Rocky 1 or they're Rocky 2. But this also
Well,
has-
all the Karate Kids were a direct rip-off of Rocky.
exactly. So but this one has Rocky 1 or 2 in boxing, Rocky 1 or 2 in Kung Fu, Rocky 1 or 2 in karate, plus Rocky 1 or 2 in romance films.
Nice.
Just to list the things I didn't like about this.
Yep.
Every single second of this film.
Oh, not
every
every
single martial arts fighting styles are used in making this. Why? I have no clue. The TikTok-like editing, and by editing, I mean the film just edits and nothing makes sense. When the next scene comes on, how Ralph Macchio comes into this film, and how Jackie Chan decides to go to New York at the drop of a hat for no apparent reason. How the mom was just all of a sudden removed from the film for a very long time. The entire fight at the end, the scene that causes the new Karate Kid and his girlfriend to get, and I'm going to put in heavy quotes here, separated, was very, how do I say this, Three's Company style. The fact no TikTok plot point ever seems to get finished before a new one comes out. But I really did like that little actor, Ben Wang, as Li Fong.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, so it was Mondo. I love this film. I love him. No, this is basically probably the most unwatchable film I think I've ever seen in my entire life. When this started, I thought, okay, I knew I wasn't going to like this because I haven't liked one Karate Kid film yet. They're all absolutely horrible.
They're awful.
And this one, I thought, well, maybe they'll do something creative because they got the great Jackie Chan back.
Well, that's the whole thing. At least
I'm
they
like,
got Jackie Chan, so we're gonna
at
laugh
least we'll
a little
have
bit.
Jackie Chan's awesomeness.
Yeah.
But he was not awesome
he
in
wasn't
this.
awesome.
And he wasn't even really in it enough. It was
No.
like, how are we going to bring this new kid along, Ben Wang as Li Fong? How are we going to bring this kid along who's very talented, both as an actor and as
Yeah, he's charming.
martial artist?
He's kind of charming.
He's charming. He's just adorable.
Yep.
You want to put him in your back pocket and take him home with you.
And then set him free to kick some ass every now
Yeah,
and then.
sure. Just release him, open your pants, and let him out.
There you go.
The thing is that every single thing in this movie that happens is like, I've never said what is actually happening in a movie more than this one. Every time they had something of a stupid edited scene, or they threw something in for, I want to say nostalgia, but it wasn't even nostalgia.
It was.
Like Ralph Macchio's character was just, he's a horrible actor. So the fact that he's even in this was horrible enough. But then then they tie in Cobra Kai at the end. I was just like, what is going
That was my
on
favorite
right
part.
now? Oh my God, this film was horrible. Like horrible.
Yagi-do.
I was traumatized by it.
There you go. So you saw this, Merman?
Of course I saw it.
Oh yeah, okay. So what did you think of Karate Kid?
Unlike you two, I actually didn't mind at least the first one.
Hey!
The second one wasn't bad either.
Yeah, no, I hated them all.
Wax on, wax off.
40 years. That's how long ago the original movie came out.
I was only 10 years old when it came
I
out.
liked about that one.
So what did you like about that one?
Yeah, what did you
Well,
like
there
about
was a
that
kid
one?
who was bullied and he was almost beaten to death. And
Yeah, but
then
that's every one of them.
rescued by an wise old Asian man.
That's
who needs
also
a
every
little
one of
work
them.
done around the house. Interesting love triangle with
That's every one of
Every
them.
Eunice
single
Button,
one.
Elizabeth Shue, and that bully Johnny Lawrence.
Yeah, yeah.
The inspirational music and the typical sports ending. I thought it was a good movie.
You've just described
This-
every single one of
This
them,
new movie
including
had none of that.
this one. No, it had all of that.
No, it really didn't.
How did it not have that?
I
it had
mean,
their love triangle. It
the-
had the
yeah,
the
but
bully.
it
It had.
was-
It's the exact same
No,
movie,
it
Murray.
really isn't.
Except
How
for
is
there
it
was-
not the same?
Except
I mean,
there was
go
two.
ahead.
Well, Ralph Macchio's
okay,
not.
in the first one,
Yeah.
he enters a karate tournament to prevent getting beat to death by bullies. To save his own life, he learns karate. What happens in this one? The kid enters the tournament to win money.
To save his
That's
girlfriend.
the only
to
reason.
save his
Save his
girlfriend's
girlfriend.
daddy's pizzeria.
His life isn't in danger.
But her dad is in
Whatever.
danger.
Your dad is in a lot of danger.
Yeah, what kind of a lesson is that for kids of tomorrow?
Sorta.
What happened to personal growth and overcoming the odds? I mean, this kid already knew kung fu.
You did.
In one scene, he beats the crap out of 3 grown-ass men who have weapons.
Yeah.
I know.
Yet he couldn't beat the guy.
That's
from
before
karate.
he starts getting trained.
Yeah, but that's because he beat the other guy. He's like super.
You mean to tell me he
he's
can't
super
beat
duper.
one punk-ass kid with bad karate skills?
No.
That was a horrible villain.
Whatever.
Horrible.
I thought he was smoldering.
I actually didn't mind the first hour of this film.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Where the story was about the kid getting used to living in New York and helping his girlfriend's dad get back into the boxing ring at the ripe old age of 47.
I'll actually agree with you. I think that should have been the whole movie, and they could have cut out the
I'm
whole.
getting to that.
Yeah.
Joshua Jackson was so dreamy
Still
and
been
still
terrible,
witty as hell.
Was he?
Yes,
Okay.
he was.
Okay.
If the movie had only been about that, I would have enjoyed it more.
I would have enjoyed it more. I will agree.
Jackie Chan and Ralph
wouldn't have enjoyed
Macchio
it.
don't even appear until after the first hour,
God
except
for
the
that.
very first scene in China. Other than
Yes.
that, it's all just the kid.
Yeah.
Again, if it was an hour long and I cut it off there, boo, I would have loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, this kid did not need any more training. It was an excuse to argue about which was better, karate or kung fu. They're all the scenes together are about, oh, this is better than this, and I'm like,
Yet that's not how he
Teach him
sold
how-
it to Ralph Macchio.
no.
It was very strange.
As for the tournament, it was barely a part of the story, and it was over way too fast. I never got
rapid fire.
I never got the impression that this kid was ever afraid for his life, hardly even got bullied, and could definitely take care of himself.
Yeah, he wasn't afraid for his life. He wasn't supposed to be. He just needed to win the tournament.
To get his girlfriend's
To get his
father-
girlfriend's
again,
to save Victor. He had to save Victor.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but this kid was not like
Although
the
save
original
Victor
Karate
from
Kid.
what? Because
what?
they come anyways, go ahead.
Well,
Sorry.
anyway, yeah, he borrowed money from a loan shark and didn't want to pay him back. Basically, the bad guy
Yeah.
of the movie, the guy who owned the dojo.
He's
See-
the most lenient loan shark ever because he sends his goons out. Some kid like kicks
the
their
crap
butt,
out of him.
and then he
10-year-old,
doesn't
He
bother
just
them again.
gives up.
Yeah, for the whole movie.
For the whole movie.
Oh, but he shows up. Wait, he shows up
He
at
shows
certain
up
times.
Well, he shows up at
And
the
then-
boxing match and goes, "Yeah, what are you gonna try to make your money back? Or to
Yeah,
pay me
I'll-
with your win here?"
I'll
And
just.
then he did win, so I
no,
don't
he
understand.
didn't. No, he didn't.
How did he not win?
The boxing match?
Yeah,
He did win the boxing
it
match.
was a
knocked
total
out.
disqualification.
The guy
okay.
got
I know he got knocked
disqualified.
out. I didn't see the
No,
disqualification
no,
part,
the guy got
The
okay,
referee was like, "No, this is not
That
cool.
was
You
an
can't be
illegal
using
punch.
your elbows and whatever
He
the hell he
gave
was
him an
doing."
illegal punch,
I
so
don't
we
know.
would have thrown him out of the
Then
match.
why did he need money for his restaurant? again?
Exactly.
If he won the match, he should have
Yeah,
got
but he
the
had
money.
to win. He had to
Exactly.
win 2 matches
Well,
to get the money.
Yeah.
Anyway, that I did like.
Wait,
Joshua
sorry.
Jackson.
It's because the
all
plot
very
of this
confusing.
movie is horrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
As much as
That's why.
As much as I wanted to like this film because I do love Jackie Chan and Machio's,
doesn't?
Machio's not too bad either. Sometimes
I almost
What?
met Jackie
it
Chan.
was definitely a rage.
What? Murray!
Murray.
No, I did like the end.
But it's the Karate
I
Kid.
know.
You love the Karate
I love
Kid.
the first one.
All right.
What about
I did like the end credit scene where Johnny Lawrence is just
What?
hanging out at Miyagi's house, and the pizza shows up, and he wants to open a pizza place with Daniel called Miyagi Do.
Yeah.
That's funny stuff.
Is that funny?
Yes,
Okay.
it was.
Okay,
But yeah, no, it was a rage.
Yeah, this is a very strange movie because it's just like they tried to put way too much into it. To your point, Murray, if they would have just had the little story with that, and it was kind of a cool dynamic that even though he got taught by Jackie Chan, all of a sudden the student becomes the teacher and starts teaching Joshua Jackson's character Victor
Kung Fu moves in boxing.
Relating Kung Fu to boxing in a way
Kung Fu is everything.
Because Kung Fu is everything.
Kung Fu is everything.
See, you're listening. That's good. And honestly, that's actually, don't get me wrong, that's still a terrible, terrible movie.
Yes.
But it's so much better than the 900 directions that this one shoots off of. Yeah. And it's like there is not a complete coherent thought in this entire movie.
No.
And there's zero character development, like not one character in this whole thing. Maybe Li Fong, Ben Wang's character, is the only one that gets any development at all.
Yeah, I think that would be the only one.
Nobody else. So how am I supposed to care about anybody when nobody... We did not spend like a coherent scene with anybody. Stuff ended, and then we were off to the next one, and it was rapid fire. Boom, 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 which is great if it's a coherent thought, but when it's not, it's like, wait a second, that's not finished yet. You need to finish that scene before you move on to the next scene.
Well, what about, okay, so here's a question for you guys.
Yes.
Do you really think that this had maybe 2 more hours on the cutting room floor of actual story?
I think they wanted to make a 90-minute movie. They made this story, and they were like, holy crap, this is like a 3-hour movie. We need to cut it back. This has got to be a 90-minute popcorn movie, in, out.
Yep.
Let's just action. And don't get me wrong, it is action, but it doesn't make any sense because nothing ties together properly because they didn't let anything breathe. They didn't, it's ridiculous.
Well, even the scene, like Jackie Chan goes to California. Like, first off, he just lands in New York. He's there a day, and he's like,
now I flies to California just to have a 10-minute conversation with
Ralph
Dan.
Macchio.
And then he says, okay, well, I'll see you in New York. And then he goes back. And then Ralph Macchio, of course, comes to New York, even so he says he's not going to come to New York.
Like, they have no connection whatsoever other than they both knew.
Miyagi.
Either than they both.
That's the power of Miyagi.
No, what happened was, since you guys don't really watch the Karate Kids, but at the beginning of the movie, they showed in the second one when they go to
Karate Kids.
Okinawa.
We've seen them all.
And he does the whole speech about how his grandfather brought the karate over. They changed that scene. Because originally it was just his grandfather fell asleep fishing and brought the karate back.
Because it was a CGI version of it.
Yeah, it was a CGI.
Which was horrible,
I think they used AI for his voice because obviously Pat Morita's dead.
Of course they did.
And they said, he brought back karate. He trained with the Han family. I'm like, that wasn't in the second movie. They changed all that just to tie them together.
You're selling
I also
everything.
hated.
All right, so to recap,
this movie's horrible.
Ben Wang, good.
Yes.
Everything else
bad.
Yeah.
Deplorable.
Yeah.
This was an absolute rage. I hated every second. Like, even the stupid...
No, you didn't hate every second. You
other than
corrected
Ben,
me.
I like Ben Wang.
Ben Wang's awesome.
Like, why did we turn it into a video game at the end, too? It's like everything was so uneven through this whole thing. It's like it had 5 different directing styles.
It was like Street Fighter or
all of a sudden it turned into Street Fighter.
It was Mortal Kombat at the end.
And it's like, what is going on?
Finish him!
And it's just, it was all so stupid. And then I don't know. Let's just not talk about this movie anymore.
You know what we do have to do, though,
What's
about this
that?
movie? Can you triple it? Because this
That was triple.
Well, keep going.
So much
Just
rage.
keep pressing it.
I think we all gave it a double rage.
Okay, that's double.
We've never really had double rage before,
There you
but
go.
I think we have to have a new classification of movies that are so horrible. I think double rage.
Well, I didn't hate it as much as you guys, but yeah, it was still a
Well,
rage.
the fact that you could rage over...
Because I like sports action movies.
Yes.
But even
do you like sports-
even this is bad.
Do you like sports action rom-com movies?
The rom-com I could have done without the rom-com.
Especially where the rom-com was ridiculous.
But Joshua Jackson almost saved the movie because he was good.
Was he?
No.
I didn't think he
No,
was. I
he
think
He was horrible, just
No, he
like...
wasn't.
I will say that was the most engaging part of the whole movie, even though I still hated it. But as I say, if they made that the movie, I wouldn't have been as. I still would have been enraged, but I wouldn't have hated it as much. If they would have taken that first hour and extended it to 90 minutes and had a little bit of character development, would have been fine.
Just press that button to shut him up.
What button? The rage button again?
Yeah. There.
Okay, whatever.
Hopefully that would cut him off.
Move on.
Okay, so we're not talking about that piece of garbage anymore.
Are we going to talk about Triumph again? Canada's other power trio?
The horrible band Triumph?
They're not horrible. They got an excellent catalog of songs.
They're talented musicians.
They are.
They just can't write any songs.
Rick Emmett
All right.
actually teaches
How to play guitar?
No, he's actually a professor at some music institute or something in Ontario. What's the big one in Ontario?
Queens?
I don't know.
U of T?
I don't know. Whatever their biggest music thing is.
Probably Queens. I don't know.
Maybe,
I don't attend music university.
Anyways.
But you
I
live
wish
in
I-
Ontario
I wish I did.
and you are
He's
a musician.
Professor Emmett now.
All right.
There you go.
Awesome. Maybe he'll learn how to write a song. All right. So Jane Austen wrecked me life.
That's right, she did.
Wrecked
She wrecked me life too.
Wrecked me life. Okay.
So you didn't watch this one, Murray?
No.
he watched the trailer. That
I
was
almost
enough.
went to the other one, but yeah, no way I was going to see this.
All right. So it's just like past lives. And there we go.
Isn't everything like past lives?
It is kind of like
Well,
past lives.
Everything is past lives.
actually, no, it's not. I mean, it
It
is a
is.
rom-com, and probably more romance than rom-com or more com.
Past
but
Lives
it's-
isn't a rom-com.
But it's a French rom-com. You don't even have to hear the French language in this, and you know that it's
very French.
I mean, it fits into the 99% of French films, which means what, Bryce?
We got nudity.
That's right. Not only did we get female nudity, Murray, we also got male nudity.
Happy for you.
Vive la France.
Mm-hmm.
But
What does
also,
it have to do with Jane Austen is what I want to know.
well, Jane Austen likes nudity.
Does she?
So, but also, unlike North American rom-coms, this has no one that's annoying and no one that is an idiot. What we do have is soul-searching French writer trying to find her voice, or even the story of her voice. She is given this opportunity to find her voice, I guess, because of a novel that she started, because of a Chinese meal where she gets to fall in love with a naked man. And again,
That was a cool scene.
Vive la France. It was a lot of fun. And
I really like that.
it was like surprised me because it was like, are you dreaming right now? No, she's writing a story.
She's writing a story.
Yeah.
It is in her head. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
Anyway, back to her voice. The first part of her book is submitted unbeknownst to her, which won her a stay for a 2-week retreat at a Jane Austen? Jane Austen?
Jane
What's her-
Austen
Which
retreat.
Austen is
Jane
she?
Austen Fantasy Camp?
Yeah, Jane Austen Fantasy Camp, where she kind of meets.
Kinda is.
Yeah, where she kind of meets her muse, sort of. Also, unlike North American rom-coms, this has actual character development. What a concept and
Yes.
humor.
Yep.
That feel kind of like humor grounded in reality. And some of the interactions bring that kind of humor that you feel from the inside of your soul. I don't even know how to explain it other than that. There are corny rom-com conveniences like all rom-coms, but at the same time, situations that actually feel like it's grounded in reality. As the film progresses, we see our lead gather her creativity and gains forgiveness and healing from past traumas. This had no real chance of being a Mondo because, it's a rom-com. But as far as rom-coms go, this is better than pretty much every one except for Past Lives, if Past Lives was a rom-com. Which was a Mondo. But why did it have to have that Hollywood ending? This is the big question I had. It had such a chance to be a great, great French film and end with a French ending. Could have been Vive la France to a high ma, but ended with a Hollywood low ma, because I guess the English in this film sprinkled some American rom-com on it, maybe? Like just sprinkle. You know what this needs? It needs an American happy ending. Or sorry, Hollywood ending. So yeah, this was a meh for me. It almost could have been a high meh if the ending wasn't Hollywood ending.
All right. Yeah, it was okay. It's It's a bit of a different movie. I really like the pace of it. It just moved at a nice, even pace the whole way.
Slow and
through.
methodical.
Slow and
Just like
steady.
the French.
I wouldn't say slow and methodical, but
Making wine for
slightly
2,000 years.
faster than slow and methodical is how I'd describe it. But yeah, no, as you mentioned, every character is developed. The cast of characters that are in it play off each other so well. It was an enjoyable movie. You kind of covered everything, really.
Okay, do you want me to get to the unpacking?
Yeah, but it was meh.
Wow, 2 for 2.
Yeah. So there's a couple scenes in this, Murray, and the humor, I think, what I want to unpack here is the humor of this film. Because the humor is very subtle at times, but there's things about it like it's not like they're making fun of it, but the father, so her love interest ends up being the son of these, I guess he's the great
Yeah, it's that guy who hates his own ancestor, right?
Yeah. Like he
According to
doesn't.
the trailer, he doesn't
like her work, but
yes.
he also is a professor of literature, so he's very hypercritical.
Yeah.
And she kind of corrects him, and that's kind of if you see the scene, I think it even shows it in the trailer where he speaks French and she's talking him French with her friend. But he is like a direct descendant of Jane Austen, and the parents put this thing on every year where they invite people based on submissions. And so the funny thing is that his father is getting either dementia or Alzheimer's, and he's not really, he has moments where he's together and other moments he's not. But one of his habits is he wakes up in the morning and writes poetry in the nude out in his garden. So the scene about it, and they don't make light of it, but they show that, even in moments like that, the family comes together and cares for him. Everybody in the film has heart in this, and they accept everybody who's in the film, which is cherishing in these type of rom-coms. Whereas in other rom-coms, they're just all unbelievable that anything would actually happen the way it happens.
No, it's just a very grounded film with some likable characters, and every single one of them gets to be developed, and I enjoyed watching them interact with each other.
In a retreat. What did you call it, Murray?
It's a retreat.
It's a fantasy camp.
There you
It's
go.
a fantasy
Jane Austen
camp.
fantasy camp.
Like sports people
yes.
and TV shows, and where you get to meet your
There you go.
people you admire and do stuff that they do.
It's like a Jane Austen sports film.
Plus, it had a guy named Oliver in it, which in our next movie we're going to talk about also
There's
has an Oliver in it.
there's two Ollies.
So many Ollies
Right
in
then.
this.
Well, that's a
week.
perfect transition.
All right then.
All right, bring her back. So, the Philippou twins are back from Australia with a new horror film. This time, they bring us the great and powerful Sally Hawkins as our lead, who plays a demonic worshipping psychopath who's trying to bring her dead daughter back from the dead via less than, I'm going to say kind, but also sneaky ways. The film starts with two half-siblings, one who is the younger sister to the older brother, who's taking on the role of protector of her. She also happens to be blind. The father dies in suspicious ways, and they are fostered to Laura, played by none other than motherfucking Sally Hawkins, who in this is beyond mesmerizing, and she begins to nefariously put a wedge between our two very close bro and sis. Grapefruit. Grapefruit. I can't tell too much of this, as I do not want to spoil the lore, other than I already have. But suffice to say, there is some demon cult stuff that happens that is not fully explained, and it never really is fully spelled out to us. But we definitely know Sally is super, super fucked in the head. She has been able to I'm going to put this in heavy quotes too, horror magic, some fucked up shit to bring her daughter back from the dead, which I'm not going to talk at all about, but suffice to say, it's pretty cool. And she learns this through reaching back and looking at old home movie VHS tapes that I think that was part of her family death cult.
And that's what, like, was that part, like, was she involved in that way back
I
when,
don't know,
or
but you would think that she...
Because it's kind of a weird, like, that was the one thing in this film that was a little uneven to me, where
but
all of a sudden we
that
get...
about it.
We had all of a sudden we'd have, like, these scenes from the VHS tapes, like, not even when she was watching them, just kind of all of them thrown back in. And it was good. I thought that was kind of odd. I didn't know that it needed that.
liked it, but the reason I liked it is because you don't know. Like, to me, it kept the mystique of this whole demonic horror thing kind of just at the precipice of fully understanding. And I love that when a film does that. And it kept bringing it back and bringing it back and bringing it back.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're kind of going to yourself, I have no fucking clue what is happening, but I am glued to the screen.
I still think I would have had no clue what was happening, even if those scenes weren't in there. I would have preferred if they didn't splice them in as often as they did. Showing her watching it, that's cool. After that, I didn't need it. And I am nitpicking like you wouldn't believe right now, but...
Well, then let me finish and we'll see.
Up.
Maybe you still have some more nitpicking.
Not really. That's no thing.
In this slow burn, gore-filled horror fest, the twins direct another banger from the Down Under that had me either squirming, cringing, or gasping through most of this film. Their horror makes me gasp. And I don't say that about most horror directors these days. This horror is fresh and imaginative. Every character in this is brilliant. And when I say brilliant, I mean like actors are super talented. And even though you can kind of predict what's going to happen, you never can predict how shocking they will take this film to. I mean, the things they get, in my opinion, and they do to, and I'm going to call the star of this film, Oliver, to do to himself or to a cat or to Mummy Hawkins or everyone he comes into contact with is truly, truly horrifying. This is the way that horror films from Blumhouse should be focusing their attention on, instead of their horrible, horrible, rage-filled PG garbage that they make. A24 is back at the top of their game in this and delivers this dynamic doer-director twins to its second Mondo. They only need 6 more to go, and then these two are undoubted. I love these directors. I cannot wait. And we talked about this on their last film, Talk to Me, that this is so original and creative, even though they take concepts of other films that we've seen before. Like, Talk to Me, when we saw the trailer, we're like, this is going to be just another one of those stupid movies like Seance or Ouija or something stupid like that. And they just totally
kind of more Pet Cemetery than anything.
Yeah, but it like this, the gore in this just shocks you. Shocks you. Connor / Ollie in this, that kid, if he doesn't become the next star of Hollywood in every movie that's ever been made, the kid that plays, I don't even know how to explain it. He basically gets kidnapped by Sally Hawkins, and then he's now a conduit for a demon. So this so far this year, I can't remember what my previous horror film that I thought was going to be the number one of this year. This is tied with that for number one horror film of this year. I freaking loved this movie.
Yeah, Philippou boys, they've made another really, really good movie. I don't know how they got Sally Hawkins. Because Sally
to do
Hawkins,
a horror movie.
Sally Hawkins has never done anything like this ever.
Shape of Water. She fucked a fish.
Yeah, this isn't the same. This is not the same at all. And this is Sally Hawkins. Like, oh my God, is she so good in this?
Paddington's mom.
Yeah, it's Paddington's mom. She's playing another mom, but in a different way. She is amazing. Every time I see her in anything, I'm just like, wow. And once again, it's like wow to another level, because it's like, kudos for her to take this role, something like, and that's probably why she did it. It's like, you know what? I've never done anything like this before, so
that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's choosing films that she's
well,
never,
even
like,
when she took Paddington, it was like she didn't really. She didn't.
Probably
really
why
do
she didn't do Paddington 3, because she made this terrific film.
maybe. Plus, even though Paddington 3 was okay, it was no Paddington 1 or definitely 2.
Definitely not 2.
Yes. But Sally Hawkins is amazing. And once again, you don't want to talk too much about what's going on in this movie. Number one, because you don't really know what's going on in this movie. And number two, you don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I mean, there's some scenes we could talk about, but go in and watch them fresh. Don't listen to us yammer on about them. And so I'm not gonna sit there and spoil anything either. I think that people need to go watch this movie. This is what horror is meant to be. This is horrifying.
It is.
And I loved it. This was absolutely Mondo.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, for movies like Karate Kid Crap Legends, I really don't even care if we spoil it, because to me, it's such a horrible movie.
I hope that we do spoil it to the point
in the
where
end. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I hope that's I hope we spoil it to the
Rocky
point that
2.
people don't go to it.
Yeah, everybody who listens to us, just don't go see Legends. But this film, just know that there's supernatural stuff that happens in this, but it's so. I'm almost speechless how fabulous this movie is.
It is.
I want to go back and see it again, but we got 5 movies to watch this week.
Yeah, it's so good. We have what now?
5 for next week.
Buckle up.
Buckle up, sunshine.
All right.
All right, then.
Did you go back and you were going to talk about all the Philippa twins content? Because it's all TV stuff.
I know who they are. I watched a movie on the old boob tube this week.
Nice.
That I hadn't heard of. Before I tell you what it is, let me tell you who was in it.
What?
Don Cheadle.
The Donster?
Benicio del Toro.
What?
David Harbour. Kieran Culkin. John Hamm. Brendan Fraser. Ray Liotta, and Matt freaking Damon.
Matt Damon.
And it was directed by Steven Soderbergh. Who's always hit or miss.
He is always
very
hit or miss.
I either love his movies or absolutely
you're not
going
to like this one. This movie was called No Sudden Move from 2021.
Yes.
Again, I never heard of it. Not sure if it even got a theatrical release.
Didn't.
It was during COVID, so maybe not.
Nope.
With all the stars in it, it probably should have. From the guy who brought you the Ocean's 11 franchise, we have another heist film.
Yep.
Yay.
This one is set in 1950s Detroit.
Oh, even better.
Detroit City.
Detroit and Motor City, and centers around a cover-up by the big 4 car manufacturers to hide the development of mufflers and catalytic converters to reduce pollution. Because they didn't want it to happen, apparently.
They wanted to kill people with their cars. I get it.
In reality, it's just a bunch of mobbed up criminals and a job gone wrong. We have a fat Benicio del Toro, an even fatter Brendan Fraser, Kieran Culkin before he started winning all those awards.
Was he also fat?
No.
Oh.
And Don Cheadle slumming it after the Avengers franchise. I thought I would like this film, considering the all-star cast and the interesting premise. Unfortunately, the overly complicated and convoluted story, where basically every character is trying to screw over the other ones, made it too hard to follow. It was a complete mess. I also had a huge problem with Soderbergh shooting the whole film with a fisheye lens.
Oh yeah, he likes to do stupid things like make movies
very
with cameras.
distracting.
Soderbergh is sometimes he's just a look at me director.
Besides,
Look at me.
it's hit
Look
or
at what I'm
miss.
doing.
I found a new camera.
Yes.
Despite the stellar
like, oh my
cast,
God.
this film was a real turkey of a rage. I would say more about this film, but the less said, the better. Just avoid it.
Yes, I agree. I've
God.
seen it. It
And
is
I
truly
like
horrible.
a lot of his movies, including the Ocean's movies.
Yeah,
But this was,
not the Ocean's movies.
was
but
terrible.
I like some of his movies, and I hate some of his movies.
I do too.
You would hate this.
Remember when we basked in his presence?
Presents.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Okay, so I could have raged about the legend and the legend adjacent people in the legend, but I'm not going to go do that because, like I said, we've got 5 movies we're going to be seeing next week. Well, I know I will be watching 5. Whether or not Bryce or Murray gets them, that's a whole other story. But I watched the trailer for The Ritual, which has Al Pacino.
Al
in it.
Pacino.
And
Is that this week?
it's this week. And here's the rub.
All right.
Like, if you see this trailer, like, there's trailers where you'll watch, and I obviously talk about this more than you two, because Bryce is always saying, don't even watch the trailer.
I don't like watching
Just watch the
trailer.
movies.
Just watch the movie.
But a good trailer to me is one they don't really tell you anything. In this movie,
You know
when
what
you're
doesn't
watching
tell you
it-
anything? Not watching the trailer.
Yeah, that's true. But this one, when you watch it, it seems like it's based on an exorcism, and it's supposedly the most famous exorcism that's ever happened in the U.S.
Nice.
The most documented one.
I'll say.
It looks like it's an actual Angel film. It's like, this looks like it was produced by Angel Films. This is what the trailer looks like. So I'm like, who are they making this for? Is this Angel Films now doing demonic possession
To
films?
scare all
Like, I haven't
all the
looked this
Christians?
up, but I just want people to go and look at Al Pacino 2025 trailer of The Ritual and not say to yourself, if this is what they came up with the trailer, can you imagine how absolutely horrible this movie's going to be? Like, I've never said that about it. I mean, I've said that about movies that I know are going to be horrible, but like a horror movie called The Ritual about possession, I've never seen. I mean, you just got to put 2.5 minutes of demon crackling and I'm there. Like, I'm signed up. Or put Russell Crowe on a scooter.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm there. But Al Pacino and a dude talking for 2 minutes, filming in Angel Films trailer style, and I'm like, I don't even think I want to see this. I mean, I'm going to, and it could be the Karate Kid
am
Legends from
not.
next week, but I'm just like, this is the most disappointing trailer I've ever seen.
Now you're making me want to watch the trailer.
There you go.
I'm doing my job.
You watch the trailer,
I want
you'll
everybody
see
to
the-
see
But
this trailer.
but I'm not going
And
to.
then I want them to go see other movies that are coming out next weekend.
There you go.
All right. Then.
That's my rage.
Okay.
It's an odd rage.
The Ritual trailer.
Ritual trailer. All right. My rage is Jim's rage bag. I'm annoyed that I sat there.
What?
I pulled a movie last week,
What are you talking-
and
what?
I tried to find it, and it's almost impossible to find. And the more you look into it, the more you see this absolutely did not have a theatrical release. So I don't know. I'm scared every time I pull from that bag now because I'm gonna have to waste my time
Yes.
trying to find out if this even was a theatrical release so I can go, sorry, Jim, I ain't watching it because it never got released in any theater. He looked at the box office. It didn't have anything in the box underneath the box office. It gave its budget, but it didn't actually have a box office because it never got released in a theater. So anyways, that is my rage. Jim is wasting my time. So then I had to re-choose I had to go and pull another film out of his bag, so I won't be doing the one I was supposed to do because it is disqualified because it did not get released at a theater, and them's the rules. So I hope that I don't run into this week after week in that stupid bag of yours. That's my rage.
I just want him to spend more time on our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Ragers, your friend and confidant, rage master extraordinaire, most handsome, almost underwear model, almost professional fingernail model, but was a professional driver, has done you wrong. Last week on Rage or Dare, I put a film in Bryce's rage bag that apparently never had a screening in cinemas. And for that, I want to say, I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. For this reason, Bryce chose to watch a different film from my evil bag of, apparently, lies, fabrication, and deceit. Let's listen into Bryce as he tells us the torment this put upon him and for his everyday life as he tirelessly prepares for hours and hours every week to bring us all the valuable content for your enjoyment. Come on, Bryce.
Got your inner
Where
South
the hell
Park
is the
there.
God of Rage?
Yeah, where the hell is the God of Rage?
God of Rage took the week off because I got him to make the Rage or Dare, and then I wasn't about to go back and get him to do another one.
All right. Okay, so I don't even remember what I was supposed to watch. What was it called?
Was it the
Says
was,
Reprisal on
was it?
No.
Oh, that thing that you
That's what I ended up watching.
You were supposed to watch Checkmate.
Oh, Checkmate, which absolutely did not get released on any screen ever in the history. I don't even think anybody's even watched it on their own TV screen. But anyways, I chose Reprisal out of the bag. Now, Reprisal is a movie from, 2018, starring Mr. Bruce Willis and Mr. Frank Grillo.
Sounds like a winner chicken dinner to me.
Yeah, so basically it's this movie where Frank Grillo, he plays like a bank manager, and his bank gets robbed. All right? So then in this whole thing that the bank gets robbed, I think one of his security guards gets killed or something. I don't know.
You weren't paying attention.
Well, I was paying attention, but by the end of it, I kind of forgot. It's going to be tough for me to recall all this. What I do remember is that Frank Grillo, the bank manager, somehow becomes Frank Grillo, the action hero that can freaking kick ass, and like there's nothing in his past that we learn of that says that he can do any of this stuff. And all of a sudden he starts kicking butt and he can handle all these guns, and it's like what is going on? There's this one scene where I think Bruce Willis must have been suffering at this point because every line that he had,
I think he was.
They would have him deliver lines that are like 3 seconds long. Frank Grillo would be talk, and then Bruce Willis would go, tell me more. And then Frank Grillo would talk. He's like, can you show me that again? And then Frank Grillo would be talk. And then Bruce Willis would go, And then Frank Grillo would talk. And there's this one scene where it was so ridiculous. He goes in and he's like, tell me about the lock. So then Frank Grillo tells him about the lock. He's like, what kind of lock is it? And Frank Grillo says, no, it's this kind of lock. He's like, can you show me? So then he's like trying to find the lock on the internet. And so then they found the lock. He's like, oh, and from this lock that they found, somehow all in one scene, they've put 2 and 2 together, and the lock somehow led them to some security camera footage. I don't know how it did that.
Magic.
But then he's like, well, that's the guy? And he's like, yeah, that's the guy. And it's like, How do we get from a lock to this security camera footage? Like, this makes no sense. And if you watch this scene, you'll be flabbergasted. Like, was there a writer on this movie? Or were you just like, oh, you know what? We actually wrote this script and Bruce Willis was supposed to say this stuff and maybe something would have made sort of sense, but we actually couldn't get him to get out the lines. So we just had him going, or show me again. And it was just like that. And then at the end, Bruce Willis has got a gun and he shoots it. And the look on his face, he's just completely lost. It's like, why did you prop this guy up in front of the camera to do this? It was sad. Aww. It made me sad. And it's just it's an awful movie. Nothing makes sense in it. Frank Grillo goes from bank manager to action hero with like no training.
Frank Grillo's always an action hero.
I guess so. We got to leave Olivia Culpo as his wife, and she was like Miss Universe. And you know what? She acts like she was like Miss Universe because she's terrible. It's just a bad movie, like start to finish. It's borderline unwatchable and just sad. Like every time Bruce Willis isn't in it that long because I don't think they could have him in it that long.
Oh man!
So he was a memory problem by that time.
Yeah, so it was not good, and I just felt bad watching it. And it's an awful movie. It's a complete rage.
But Frank Grillo is good, right? He's always good.
No, he's not always good.
Is he really?
He's been. If he's in a movie and he's not the focal point, he's okay in like a side part. He's character
what was
actor.
That one he was in, it was like vampires or something.
Was it the wolf?
Yeah, it was terrible. Werewolves.
Werewolf one. Yeah,
I think it was called Werewolves.
Yeah, something with werewolves.
Yeah, and he can't carry a movie.
No,
like he's not.
He's a sidekick at
He's
best.
a sidekick.
He's okay as a bad guy you can kill. That's pretty much his role in life.
He's okay.
But when he's a bad guy that turns into a werewolf,
he can pull off a cop too. He can be a cop
or a bank manager,
but he can't be the cop. The cop. He can be the cop's partner.
He can be a cop.
Yeah,
the one who dies at the end.
He can be the cop that comes in and takes the coffee order and then comes back with coffee for them while they're doing the investigation.
Really angry about it.
Anyways, I just felt sad watching this. It was a total rage, and by the way, it barely got a theatrical release, but it was released in theaters. It had a limited release on, I think, like 2 screens in Los Angeles, and
of course,
2 screens in New York, and nothing in between those places. But whatever.
Nice. But would he say something like, "There's no lactate for this coffee order"?
Yeah, he might. I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
Then he would just knock it off the counter.
I assume that it's my turn again because it's always my turn.
Oh, yeah.
It's always your turn.
Take from this bag.
Oh, is it your turn? Is it really your turn?
Yes, it's my turn.
Yes!
Remember this for next week.
All right, he's digging deep. Oh, man, I got some gems in there. He's pulling from my bag because them's the rules now.
Picking deep on this.
Oh, man, this is going to be so good. What are you watching there, Jim?
Oh, fucking hate you.
I've done so good on this bag.
Is it Top Gun?
This is like the ultimate. This is the ultimate bag ever.
I hate you. I hate you.
Yes, indeed.
I thought I would never have to watch this movie, and now that I say this, I remember when we recorded this. You're like, this is going in the bag.
Oh, is it?
It is. It ends with us.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, he was so proud that he didn't have to go see it, and I went and saw it in theaters. I'm like, buddy, you will be seeing it eventually.
Oh my God!
Get your Blake Lively on, mister.
Oh my!
And whatever the hell that guy's name is who's suing her.
Yes.
Who's doing what now?
Yeah, he's suing her because
it's a whole big thing.
There's a whole thing, and
apparently she ruined his life.
Apparently that whole film set was not a fun place to be.
Oh, like she
was pulling her weight around and she was making things difficult.
Oh, I thought he was like some sort of sexual touching or something.
No,
yeah, he wrote some of that in too, I think. Anyway, enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will not happen. Okay, but before we close, just to say, you know what? This is quite an accomplishment for us. 300 episodes.
300 episodes.
I mean, we've done more than 300 because we've had interviews
300
and we've
full
had
length.
mini episodes. But you know what? Congratulations to us.
Good for us.
Yeah.
Yay.
And
I'm awesome.
Thanks,
And
Ray.
Bryce has been here for all of them.
Yes.
I have. I'm the only one that's been here for every single
right.
one of them, by the way.
That's true. But you know what? It pays that the recording equipment is
in
your
his
basement.
house.
Whatever.
There you go.
Details.
To roll out of bed and
We'll
make a
we'll
podcast.
release some without him on remote
Some of us
locations.
have to fight
Nope.
traffic to get here.
That's
but
right.
whatever.
I will always be there.
Well, you know what, Ragers? Thank you for listening for 300 episodes. Thanks to the Extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, the voice of Rage or Dare. And Casey will be back next week. Don't you worry. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always want to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 make us a rage. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.